Welcome back, YouTube. Marcus Mays Realtor here, back with another video. Today I'm actually talking to all the first-time home buyers looking to purchase their home within the next 6 to 12 months, and those that are wondering what's out there for first-time home buyers, what programs are out there, how can I access the funds for first-time home buyers, how can I qualify, and how can I use those funds, right? If you have any of those questions, then this is going to be super important for you, okay? So be sure to stay tuned and let's go ahead and get started. Welcome back, YouTube. Super excited for today's lesson. I know there's tons of first-time home buyers that's interested in the information that we're going to be talking about today. I actually have a couple freebies that I'm going to be giving you guys at the end of this video. So be sure to tune in and stay all the way until the end, okay? So let's go ahead and get right to it. Let's talk about first-time home buyer programs. I want to first disclose that there are typically 4 different types of first-time home buyer programs. Let's go over the first one. Grants, right? Whether it's a state grant, a federal grant, a city grant, or it could be a grant from your job or something like that, right? And a grant is basically free money. It's an incentive to you as a home buyer to purchase a home. So it could be, a grant from, like I said, your job. It could be a federal grant that they have a specific amount of money, let's say maybe $5 million for first-time home buyers to incentivize you to purchase a home, right? So first one is grants. The next two that I want to discuss are really like second mortgages on top of your first mortgage, right? So the first one is where you'll basically pay over time. So you know how you have your first initial mortgage payment, right? And then this one will be just a small amount on top of that first mortgage that basically you'll have to repay over time. So let's say you have a 25-year loan or a 30-year loan. You'll basically be paying on that. Let's say they give you $10,000 in assistance. That $10,000, you just have to pay it over time, 25 years or 30 years, whatever the terms of your mortgage is. The other type is going to be where you pay back on the sale of your home. So let's say you live there, you buy a home, let's say $350,000, right? You get a down payment of $15,000-$20,000, or you get assistance for $15,000-$20,000, and over that particular time frame between whenever you move into your home and you sell your home. So let's say you live there for 10-15 years and you decide to sell at the end of that 15 years, right? The equity that you've built in your home is going to be, your profits, but additionally, you're going to have to pay that $10,000 in assistance that you received at the purchase of your home. You're going to have to pay that back at the sale of your home. So that's the other type of assistance program terms that you could see, right? And they're both kind of like second mortgages, if you will. And the fourth one is actually that, I guess the fourth one is also kind of a second mortgage. But the thing is, this program or this type, the terms of this loan will be forgiven over a specific time period, right? So let's say you purchase your home for $350,000, you get $10,000-$15,000 in assistance, right? And the terms of this particular program could say, hey, after 5 or 7 or 10 years, the $10,000-$15,000 will be forgiven over this specific time frame. So basically, you would have had to live in this particular home for the amount of time within that is disclosed in that particular the details of that particular mortgage program. Okay, so remember, grants, that's free money. Okay, the other one is where it is basically a second mortgage that you have to pay over time. The other one is also a second mortgage, but you could pay it at the end of or whenever you sell your home. And then the fourth one that we went over is basically the one that's basically forgiven over time. Now, let's talk about how to qualify for these programs, right? It's going to be the same thing that you guys already know. First things first, is your credit credit, credit, credit. It's going to be huge. Okay. You're also going to show that you have some reserves in your account, just because that's what some of the terms of those programs require that, right? Also, there are income limits to specific programs, and all programs are not created equal. All lenders are not created equal. All banks are not created equal, meaning every single program, every single lender might have, little details that are different, right? The guidelines might be able to be tweaked for one bank versus another bank, or one lender versus another lender, right? So you have to really communicate with your real estate team to figure out, hey, what can I qualify for, or what program is best for me, and how can I work to be able to qualify for this particular program. So credit's going to be huge. You're going to have reserves. You're going to have, at least 2 years worth of job history noted, as well as, the proper documentation, right? So that's going to be huge. So if you're interested and you're like, man, I really want to take advantage of one of these first-time homebuyer programs. I really want to be able to qualify and get this assistance so that I can buy my home in the next 6 to 12 months. I have actually a link for you to check your homebuyer credit eligibility, and you can get all 3 credit reports, all 3 FICO credit reports, and it's a link in the description. But don't go to it yet, okay? Because I'm also going to give something else away at the end of the video, at the end of this video. So stay tuned, okay? Just keep that in mind. Now, let's talk about using, or how to use, these funds within these first-time homebuyer programs, right? So let's say you're looking at a home and it costs $300,000, and you're looking at getting a first-time homebuyer grant of 5% of that purchase price. So 5% of $300,000 is $15,000. And let's say you're using a FHA loan, which is great for first-time homebuyers who need help or don't have the 20% or 5% or 10% of down payments, right? So FHA loans, you can get as low as 3.5% down payments, right? And if you have a grant for 5%, you have a 1.5% left, right? So you're getting a total of $15,000, which is 5%. $300,000 is the home. 3.5% of $300,000 is $10,500 for the down payment. So you'll have $4,500 left. And so there are typically two major costs with purchasing home. One is down payment. Second is going to be closing costs, right? So your down payment is covered. $10,500 is your down payment. So $15,000 out of that, $10,500 is going to be used for down payment. You have $4,500 left, which you can use for your closing costs, and that could be anywhere from 3 to 4% of the purchase price, right? So you have a total of $15,000 that you have gotten, and you can disperse it into, whatever you need, as far as if you need it for down payment or if you need it for closing costs. So let's say, you have the down payment. Let's say you're coming with the down payment and you can pay that 3.5%. Now you can use all those funds to fund that or to pay for the closing costs, right? So you could kind of use the money however you need, and your real estate professionals that you're working with should be knowledgeable enough to, make sure that you're getting the best deal possible, and using the first time homebuyer program to your advantage. Here's the thing. You have to evaluate your financial situation and figure out what's best for you and your family when it comes to buying a home and actually using these first-time homebuyer programs, right? Because at the end of the day, there is not necessarily any free money per se, right? As we know, today's real estate market is a little bit more competitive. Why? Housing prices have increased, and also interest rates have increased. So with these government programs, right, that are for first-time home buyers, typically these government programs and these first-time home buyer programs have a little bit higher of an interest rate than the regular market interest rates, right? So if you're going to use a first-time home buyer program, just know that your interest rate might be a little higher. But here's the thing. This is why I say you need to evaluate yourself and your financial situation. If you're in a position where you do have down payment and you can actually come up with down payment and you can come up with the cost to pay for your particular home buying transaction, sit down and take a look at the pros and cons of using a first-time home or a home buyer program, or rather just paying it yourself, right? Um, do the costs over the next 30 years. Actually, look at the interest rates of if you do use a program, first-time home buyer program, and if you don't use a first-time home buyer program. See how much money that you would save over the 30 years if you do or don't use the program. Now, if you're not in a position to come up with the upfront funds of down payment, closing costs, things like that, and you need the assistance, then by all means, go ahead and use that assistance. That's why I say sit down and evaluate and figure out what's best for yourself and your position. If you need those funds up front and you're comfortable with paying that monthly payment, then by all means, go ahead and take advantage of that program. That's what they're there for. They're for first-time home buyers to take advantage of. Now, if you're a first-time home buyer and you're looking to purchase your home within the next 6 to 12 months, you need to check your credit score. You need to know what's on your credit. So I have provided a link in the description for you to check your home buyer credit eligibility, okay? It's going to give you all 3 reports from TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. They're all the FICO scores, and it's going to have all the data that the mortgage lenders and banks are going to see, okay? Now, if you guys go ahead and go check your credit eligibility and get your reports, here's what I'll do. Myself and my team will do for you. We will do a free homebuyer credit audit for you, basically where we go in, pull out, look at your, read and analyze your credit reports for you, and we'll pull out all the negative items that are actually holding you back right now. From there, we can help you create a plan of action on how to execute and boost your credit score to where it needs to be so that you can qualify for these particular programs, right? And it's super, super important. So like I said, if you guys go and download your credit reports, go get your homebuyer credit eligibility reports, then myself and my team will do a service for you guys, absolutely free. We'll do the free homebuyer credit audits for you, okay? The link is in the description. And also, after you go ahead and get your credit reports, go ahead and schedule your free homebuyer credit audit. That link is also in the bio. Also, what I have for you guys is a list of the top 10 homebuyer programs in 2022 that we're using for our clients. So that link is also in the bio as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys and doing some homebuyer credit audits for you all. And feel free to leave any comments, any questions that you guys might have. And again, please guys, if you enjoy this channel, please go ahead and subscribe and like the videos. Super, super important. And I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys next time.